From the Pacers trading their 7th pick to take a chance on Bilal Coulibaly, to the Spurs landing the hottest prospect in the entire draft, these are the 2023 NBA draft players with the most promise. The Indiana Pacers made a move early on, swapping their 7th pick with the Washington Wizards for the 8th pick and future picks. And with that pick, they selected Bilal, a player who comes with high risk but also high reward. He's been showing significant improvement at a rapid pace and is gradually growing into his massive wingspan. With his physicality and athleticism, Bilal brings an exciting combination of skills to the table. One thing that adds to the intrigue is his potential as a shooter. Bilal has shown glimpses of shooting ability, but the key here is that he hasn't had much experience playing at a high level of competition. This means there's still a lot of untapped potential waiting to be unlocked. The Pacers are taking a calculated gamble with this guy, and they understand the risks involved, but they also recognize the immense upside. Similar is the story for the newest addition to the New Orleans Pelicans, Jordan Hawkins. While Hawkins may not have the flashiest reputation or the most eye-catching highlights, he brings something valuable to the table: stability. And let's be honest, the Pelicans could use a dose of that in their lives. At 21 years old, Hawkins was the oldest player selected in the lottery, and his time at UConn didn't exactly set the world on fire. He may not have arrived at Barclays Center with the most blinged-out suit or the biggest chain, but that's not what defines him as a player. He's not the type of player who will blow you away with jaw-dropping moves or highlight reel dunks. Instead, he's a steady and reliable presence on the court. Hawkins is the kind of player who raises the floor rather than aiming to raise the franchise's ceiling. He knows his role and takes pride in what he brings to the team. And for someone like the Pelicans, who are in the process of building their roster, checking off boxes for steady and reliable players is crucial. On the other hand, the Orlando Magic managed to snag Anthony Black, and it seems like they got themselves a steal. Many expected him to still be available at the 8th pick, but the Magic didn't want to take any chances. This guy is a dual threat who can make an impact on both ends of the court. Black has shown that he's a true big point guard, able to handle the ball and make plays while maintaining his speed and agility, even after adding some weight. The only lingering question mark is his shooting ability, but he's been looking better during the draft process than he did in college. If he can figure that part of his game out, there's no doubt he'll be considered one of the top 5 players in this draft class. Then there's the Houston Rockets, who landed Amen Thompson, and let me tell you, this guy is a freak of nature. We're talking about a top 1% athlete in the NBA tomorrow. Standing at 6'7" with a 6'11" wingspan, this dude has got some serious physical gifts. I'm talking extreme pace and some insane leaping ability. It'll be interesting to see how Thompson develops, and if he can help address the shooting woes in Detroit. Because the team will be counting on him to make an impact on both ends of the court. While the Thompson twins were expected to be picked so early, the Charlotte Hornets really threw us a curveball with Brandon Miller. It's been a bit of a head-scratcher, to be honest. But hey, let's break it down. This dude's got a crazy combination of size and shot-making skills. I mean, he's got a killer mid-range game, even though we didn't get to see much of it back in his Alabama days. But here's the catch. We still haven't witnessed his finishing at the rim. It's like a big question mark hanging over his head. And let's not forget about his slim frame, which raises some concerns. Plus, there were those off-the-court issues he had in college. Gotta keep an eye on that stuff, you know? All in all, it's a risky move by the Hornets. There's a lot of unknowns surrounding Miller. Will he live up to his potential? Can he overcome these challenges? It's all a waiting game now. The Hornets made another surprising move by picking up Nick Smith Jr. This guy was the top recruit in 2022, and now he's reunited with his grassroots teammate, Brandon Miller. It's a calculated swing for high upside, especially for a team that's in the rebuilding phase. Smith had a bit of a rough college year because of a knee injury and some timing and defense issues, but if he can figure those things out, watch out, because he has the potential to be a real asset. Now, if the Trailblazers universe didn't revolve around Damian Lillard, the streets of Portland would be erupting with joy right now. They snagged Scoot Henderson, an explosive mix of muscles, explosiveness, and charisma, with the 3rd overall pick. This kid had an impressive debut in the G League and he was just 18 years old. Henderson's got all the tools in the box, from his physical abilities to his leadership qualities. He's already showing the potential to be a starting caliber point guard with a bright future ahead. When it comes to attacking the paint, Henderson's got it down pat. He can get in there whenever he wants, leaving defenders in the dust. And those shots off the bounce, smooth as butter. Plus, his pick and roll game is on point. But here's the deal, he's still got room to improve. He's not quite there as a catch-and-shoot player, could use some work on the defensive end, and he's still learning the ropes of being a point guard. But you know what's impressive? Despite being the youngest player facing tough competition, he held his own and often stood out. And that speaks volumes about his potential. Speaking of potential, the San Antonio Spurs have been in the game for a whopping 50 years. And boy, have they had some mind-blowing luck along the way. But their latest stroke of fortune takes the cake. They won the draft lottery, landing them the opportunity to snatch up Victor Wembanyama, the 7'4" French phenom. It's like hitting the jackpot and finding a unicorn all at once. If this kid lives up to the hype, it'll go down as the luckiest draft day in Spurs history. We're talking 2003 LeBron James in 1992, Shaquille O'Neal level of talent here. So, naturally, Wembanyama is headed straight to San Antonio, ready to carry on the legacy of legends like David Robinson and Tim Duncan. I mean, Coach Greg Popovich must be scratching his head right now, wondering why the basketball gods keep showering them with blessings. But you know what? When you've had some killer draft picks in the past, it's like having an extra layer of armor to tackle any challenges that come your way. And now with Victor in the mix, it's a reminder that they never let tough times get them down. He stands tall at 7'4" with an 8-foot wingspan and looks like he could high-five the moon. And here's the thing, it's not just his height that's jaw-dropping. This dude redefines defensive domination. He's got moves that make opponents quake in their sneakers, offensive skills that leave jaws on the floor, and agility that defies the laws of physics. If Vic can steer clear of injuries, he's bound to become an NBA superstar. The Spurs have been hustling for years to position themselves for this very moment, and now they're seizing it. All I'll say is, San Antonio fans, get ready, because greatness is about to grace your court once again. So, from the Spurs landing the hottest prospect in the entire draft, to the Pacers trading their 7th pick, take a chance with Bilal Coulibaly, these were the 2023 NBA draft players with the most promise.